Take a breath with me. Not the rushed inhale you take between tasks, but a slow, steady breath that tells your nervous system, we are safe. I want you to notice the weight you've been carrying, the quiet battles fought behind a steady face, the tears you wiped before anyone could see, the moments you felt like the only one awake in a sleeping world. None of that has been invisible. What you've endured has been witnessed, and this moment is not random. There is a thread running through your days that brings you here now, on the edge of a sacred turning point. You've been walking toward it longer than you realize. Think of it as a threshold. One step behind you is the struggle that shaped you. One step ahead is the rise you've been prepared for. But before you step forward, allow this pause to seal something in you. You are not overlooked, not forgotten, not lost in the crowd. Heaven noticed what you persevered through when no one else did. This connection right now is purposeful. You are standing at the doorway of a holy transition designed to lift you, not just out of something, but into who you are becoming. Revelation comes before elevation. Before any genuine rise comes real understanding. You are about to receive clarity that makes sense of the path you've walked, the obedience that no one applauded, the choices you made when there was nothing to gain but integrity. Some truths are not mass market. They are entrusted to the ones prepared to carry them. You'll know this is for you because something inside will lean in, like your spirit recognizes its own name being spoken. The insight will not merely explain your past. It will orient your next steps. It will answer the quiet why now that lingers at the edge of every breakthrough. This is not a reward for being perfect. It is a revelation reserved for those who kept showing up when it was easier to step back. Expect the kind of understanding that settles your heart and steadies your stride, the kind that teaches you how to hold what's coming without losing what matters. If you feel the pull to keep listening, trust it. Revelation is the lamp that goes before elevation, so that when doors open you don't wander, and when opportunities arrive you recognize which ones have your name on them. Your hidden faithfulness is seen and honored. Let's name what's true. Favor has found you not only because you arrived here, but because of who you remained along the way. You stood firm through late-night questions and long days that gave you no answers. You kept faith when the path blurred and the finish line disappeared. That quiet loyalty matters. You are stepping into a distinct season of transformation. And yes, it will feel like being lifted, but not as a prize handed to the lucky. It is recognition. Recognition of the nights you cried and still chose to believe. Recognition of the lonely yes that had no audience. Recognition of the strength you practiced when quitting would have made more sense on paper. Imagine your life as a field sown in private, furrows cut by unseen effort, seeds dropped with trembling hands. What comes up now will look sudden to others, but you will know the truth. This harvest sprouted from faithfulness. The elevation you're entering will not inflate your ego. It will validate your endurance. Let that settle the debate in your mind about whether any of it was worth it. It was. And now what was forged in secret will be carried in public with grace. Stay present to receive direction and identity. If your heart is still here, there's a reason. Those who are called to this moment don't just hear information. They receive orientation. Expect clear insight, a sharpened sense of direction, and a deeper awareness of who you are at your core. These words are not mere sound. They are living markers pointing you back to your truest identity. Your response matters, not with bravado, but with humility. I'm ready to rise without pride. I'll hold what comes with clean hands. Stay connected to these truths. Let them read you as much as you read them. New understanding tends to arrive in layers. The first lifts fear, the next clarifies purpose, the last aligns your pace with timing that isn't rushed or delayed. This is the posture: open heart, steady breath, willing steps. The world may demand a performance. This moment asks for presence. Keep listening until the shape of your next faithful action emerges. It might be a conversation you've avoided, a boundary you need to set, a daily practice that rebuilds your inner life. Whatever it is, it will reinforce your identity rather than erode it. Hold that line. Walk it with a quiet, grounded confidence. Faithfulness in the dark is alignment, not theater. You know what it is to walk without a map, confused, alone, with no signs lighting the road ahead. Still, when a gentle nudge said go, you went. That wasn't recklessness. That was alignment. Faithfulness is not about proving something to people. It's about staying true to the one who called you when no one else understood. There were days giving up seemed logical, maybe even responsible. Yet you chose the harder road, the one that kept you honest with yourself and with God. That choice became a compass. It taught you to move from conviction rather than approval, from purpose rather than pressure. Remember those mornings you rose not because you felt strong, but because you refused to turn away. That's what built your resilience. Not the highlights, not the applause, those quiet, faithful steps when everything in you wanted relief more than obedience. If that's you, don't diminish it. Hidden faithfulness rewrites futures. It trains your instincts to recognize guidance in a whisper and to keep walking when visibility is low. No spotlight can manufacture what darkness taught you to carry. You are not underqualified because the route was unclear. You are prepared because you learned to follow without guarantees. The strength of silence and the power of a steady heart. The world cheers for whatever it can measure: metrics, moments, momentum. But heaven values what holds when no one is counting. A heart anchored, a soul clean, motives kept simple. You didn't need every step explained to keep walking. Presence was enough. Knowing you weren't alone steadied your pace when strategy fell short. You accepted real costs. Opportunities passed by, rooms you could have entered but didn't, versions of yourself you wouldn't perform. That wasn't weakness, it was wisdom. Silence for you wasn't avoidance. It was discipline. It said, I don't need to display what is secure. That posture is rare, and it has formed in you a tensile strength, a capacity to carry favor without being owned by it, to be visible without becoming hollow. When the noise rises, you won't need to shout. Your life will speak in the pitch of integrity, the tone of constancy. Hold to that. Keep your inner room uncluttered so guidance can find you quickly. Let your no be clean and your yes be wholehearted. What's ahead will not require you to become someone else. It will require you to stay fully yourself, clear-eyed, steady-souled, hands open, heart aligned. The season of opening and shifting. Every hidden act of faithfulness has been building to this moment. You may not have realized it, but your quiet endurance has shaped something powerful in the unseen. And now that unseen work is beginning to move. The path ahead, once closed, once unclear, is opening with a new rhythm. Doors that stayed shut will begin to swing wide, not because you forced them, but because timing has aligned with preparation. You've waited when it would have been easier to rush. You've stayed grounded when it felt like nothing was happening. And now, heaven is whispering, well done. The things that were withheld weren't punishment, they were preservation. Some blessings need maturity to hold them. Some callings need patience to sustain them. This is your turning point, where private endurance becomes public grace. Don't be surprised when others marvel at what suddenly flourishes around you. What looks overnight to them has been years in the making. Every unseen yes, every quiet prayer, every time you stayed faithful in obscurity, it's all been leading to this shift. What's opening now isn't just opportunity. It's confirmation that your waiting was never wasted. Elevated through purity and integrity. In a world that celebrates shortcuts and rewards pretense, you chose the narrow way, the way of purity, of quiet alignment. You turned from what glittered but lacked truth. You closed the door on temptation and declared your life to be holy ground. That single decision to protect what is sacred inside you has become your foundation for promotion. Favor isn't drawn to performance, it's drawn to authenticity. And heaven's favor has found you because your heart remained clean when compromise was convenient. You may not realize this, but every no to corruption was a yes to divine trust. You weren't just being moral, you were being prepared. You can now be trusted, not simply because of your abilities, but because of your integrity. What you carry is rare, a heart that values truth over attention, substance over spectacle. Remember this, gifts can open doors, but only character keeps them open. The new elevation you're entering will test that integrity, not to expose weakness, but to display strength. You are being lifted not for talent's sake, but for the purity that proved you worthy of what comes next. Public honor and expanding influence. The same God who watched your quiet beginnings is now preparing to honor you in the open. This isn't about fame, it's about influence rooted in truth. The world is starving for voices whose words match their lives, for people whose hearts are steady and real. That's why you're being positioned now. Heaven is searching for those whose word is solid and whose motives are clean, and you have been shaped for that role. The blessings ahead aren't superficial rewards. They carry purpose, impact, and reach. You'll find that what flows toward you isn't random. It's abundance that knows your name. And this time, it won't slip through your fingers because your spirit is ready to hold it. As your visibility increases, remember, it's not about being seen, it's about being useful. True influence doesn't come from attention, it comes from alignment. And as you remain aligned with what is pure and real, your life will speak louder than any platform ever could. You won't have to announce your breakthrough. Your peace will do the talking. Love that gives when empty. There's something deeply sacred about the way you've kept giving, even when you felt empty. You comforted others while your own heart ached. You encouraged when no one encouraged you back. That wasn't weakness. It was divine strength flowing through exhaustion. God saw every tear you hid behind a smile. Every quiet night you prayed for others while your own hope trembled. You didn't give from abundance, you gave from devotion. And that's what made it holy. True love doesn't wait until it's convenient. It moves because compassion refuses to rest. Every act of kindness, every unseen prayer, every moment you lifted someone else, even while carrying your own weight, they were seeds. And now, the season for receiving has come. What's returning to you isn't payment, it's fulfillment. It's the universe echoing back everything you sowed when no one was watching. You poured out love without keeping score, and now love is coming for you in full measure, pressed down, overflowing, undeniable. The drought is ending. The harvest is here. Set apart, steadfast, and unshaken. You were never designed to blend in. The current of popularity was never meant to carry you. You were set apart for something deeper. Others might chase quick recognition, but you've learned the strength of slow faith. Faith that stands when everything delays. Faith that praises before evidence appears. You believe what was spoken even when circumstances screamed otherwise. That kind of belief is rare. It's forged in silence, in setbacks, in moments that test who you really are. You faced loss without bitterness, walked through waiting without despair. You didn't cling to what was fading, you clung to what was promised. And because of that, your roots grew deeper than the storm could reach. The world may not understand why you didn't quit when it would have been easier, but heaven does. You stayed because you knew the one who called you doesn't lie. So now, as things begin to shift, keep that same posture. Faith first, feeling second. Because your strength has never been in what you see, but in what you trust. The power of trust that shifts realities. Real trust isn't passive, it's active power. It changes the atmosphere around you. It's not waiting idly for proof. It's walking as though the promise is already fulfilled. That's what you've been practicing without even knowing it. Every time you spoke hope in hopelessness, every time you thanked God in the middle of confusion, you were shifting realities. True faith doesn't deny what's hard. It declares what's true beneath it. And the unseen world responds to that kind of trust. It's what moves mountains, heals hearts, opens paths no logic could predict. You've been living by that unseen force, and now the visible will begin to align with it. The time coming won't just meet your faith, it will exceed it. Not because you earned it, but because you trusted through impossibility. When everything said no, your heart still whispered, with God, all things are possible. That whisper carried more power than you imagined. It reshaped your story from the inside out. And now, that inner trust is calling the outer world to catch up. The strength of quietness and humility. There comes a point in every journey where silence becomes the loudest proof of strength. You had every right to defend yourself, to explain, to prove people wrong. But instead, you chose stillness. You let the noise pass while keeping your peace intact. That silence wasn't weakness, it was mastery. In a world that equates loudness with power, you learned that true authority doesn't have to announce itself. There's a quiet dignity in knowing who you are without needing validation. The unseen realm recognizes it even when the world doesn't. Because you didn't chase recognition, recognition will now chase you. Because you stayed aligned instead of self-promoting, what's next will speak louder than anything you could have said. Your silence was never empty, it was strategy. You were allowing God to write the kind of story that doesn't need explanation. Remember this, what is born in humility grows with endurance. This next phase isn't about proving your worth. It's about revealing what humility has prepared in you. The stillness you carried in criticism is the same stillness that will carry you into honor. The principle of lifting the humble. Every spiritual law eventually reveals its truth in time, and one of the greatest is this: the meek will inherit the earth. Not because they were the loudest, but because they were steady enough to hold blessing when it came. You've had moments when it would have been easy to show off what you've done, to claim your place, to remind others that you were right, but you didn't. You stayed grounded. You kept your heart clean, even when you had the spotlight. That's why what's coming will be pure, lasting, and unshakable. What pride builds, pressure destroys. But what humility builds, eternity sustains. When you could have used your success to make others small, you instead chose to honor what is sacred. And heaven took note of that. The next season isn't about achieving more. It's about embodying more. More wisdom, more grace, more peace. It's not just that God protects the meek. He entrusts them with influence because they won't use it to harm. Stay low in spirit, and you'll find yourself lifted to heights you never chased. The higher you rise, the deeper your humility must root. From preparation to revelation, you've been in a long season of preparation, refining, pruning, shaping. But now comes the unveiling. This isn't just a time of receiving blessings, it's a time of revealing purpose. The world will see not only what you have, but who you've become. Every hardship, every hidden lesson was molding you for this moment. You are not just blessed, you are being sent. The difference between being promoted and being sent is intention. Promotion benefits you, but being sent blesses others. That's the divine order. As you step into this phase, stay anchored. Let your words carry weight. Let your actions match your beliefs. Choose kindness even when no one returns it. Stay generous with your time, your presence, your forgiveness. Keep humility as your compass and faith as your map. The goal isn't to impress, but to impact, to live as if God's goodness is already visible in everything you do. You don't need to announce your transformation. Just walk in it. Those aligned with truth will see, and those meant to follow will find direction through your steadiness. Guarding connections and walking with confidence. Not everyone who started with you will finish with you, and that's okay. Growth naturally filters who's meant to go further. As you step into new territory, be discerning about who walks beside you. Some people will understand your calling, others won't. That doesn't make them enemies, it just means your paths are diverging. Look for the ones who challenge you to stay grounded, who speak truth when it's uncomfortable, who see your purpose even when you forget. Surround yourself with wisdom, not noise. You don't need a crowd, you need clarity. Walk with calm assurance, not arrogance, because your confidence doesn't come from comparison, it comes from calling. The peace within you is your compass. When you sense stillness about a decision, trust it. When you feel chaos, pause. You don't need to rush what is divinely timed. Remember, confidence isn't loud, it's secure. The same grace that got you this far will sustain you where you're going. Protect your peace like a sacred space. It's the atmosphere where direction becomes clear. The call to respond and step forward. This is your moment of activation. You've been prepared, refined, and now the call is simple but profound. Respond. Life shifts not when we know, but when we move. The ones who keep showing up, thankful, focused, faithful, are the ones who change the atmosphere around them. You weren't just called, you were needed. You were shaped for this exact time in history. The world doesn't need perfection, it needs presence. Your yes carries weight beyond what you see. When you act on faith, the unseen responds. Every small obedience creates ripples in places you may never witness. Don't overthink your readiness. God already accounted for your imperfections when He chose you. The real test isn't whether you can do it, it's whether you'll step forward anyway. Say yes, not just with words, but with action. Forgive again, begin again, believe again. Heaven isn't waiting on your perfection, it's waiting on your participation. When you move in faith, divine timing moves with you, entering the quiet place and laying down burdens. Before the next chapter unfolds, pause again, this time not from exhaustion, but from reverence. Find that sacred space where silence speaks louder than striving. Lay down what's heavy, not because it no longer matters, but because you no longer need to carry it alone. God saw the burdens you held when no one else did. The integrity you kept when eyes weren't watching has become your offering. And now, what was built in darkness is ready to rise into light. This harvest is not reward, it's recognition of endurance. The soil of struggle has turned into fertile ground for miracles. In quiet places, you learn to listen. Now, that listening will guide your steps forward. Don't rush from the stillness. Stay until peace replaces pressure. You don't need to fix everything. Just be present with what is being restored. The more you release, the more room there is for what's next to grow. The strength that carried you through survival will now carry you into expansion, the beginning of a new season. If you've stayed through every word, this part is for you. You are part of the faithful remnant, the ones who endure, who believe, who listen even when the world grows loud. This next season is not just about receiving, it's about representing. You carry a sacred assignment now, but to live as proof that faithfulness still matters. Your life will become a message for those still walking through silence. Every time you choose peace over reaction, grace over resentment, trust over control, you preach without words. Heaven's favor now rests upon you not for comfort, but for calling. You are being sent to rebuild hope in places that forgot how to dream. Go forth gently but boldly. Walk in the fullness that has been revealed to you. The same hand that refined you will now release you. This isn't an ending, it's a commissioning. You are stepping into your divine rhythm, and as you go, may peace be your pace and grace your constant companion.